Hi guys, something a little different today. So recently I've been thinking about address labels. When I send happy mail or things that people have bought, things like that, I get so sick of writing my address. So I went and purchased this cool little doohickey, just covering up my address. I got it off eBay. I think I paid like $13 for it. So it's a stamp. It's a self-inking stamp, and you can pick the writing that you want on it. So I got an address stamp made. So I've got my name, my address, everything on there. And what I thought, and then I bought these, also off eBay, these adhesive sticky labels. But instead of just stamping this on these, I thought I'd go something, you know, a little mixed media-y. And I thought we'd decorate the labels before we stamped on them, and I thought I'd share it with you. So to keep it a little more user-friendly, thought I'd do this in real time, because I don't think this is going to take a lot of time. So basically I've got my paints out, I've got a selection of colours, chances are we're not going to use them all, and I've also got a black and a white out for contrast. I've got over here, I have a selection of stencils as well, some of my favourites. And then I've also got some stamps. So I'm all set up, ready to go. So I thought we'd start with this. So I'm going to start with colour. Now normally when I put my paint down I use makeup sponges, but I'm just thinking right now for such a big area that's probably not going to be the best move. So I'm looking for, because I know I have some, here, this is what I'm looking for. These. So these are the best when you're doing lots of area. For that it is also good to have, and I think I recently just got rid of mine because it was, you know, very well loved, so I'll just use some packaging. But it's also good to have, here we go, a craft sheet. So I do have a spare. So I'm going to put this over here so I can use this as my paint palette. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with some colours. Now might go with those, and then for a little contrast we'll go with some cherry pie. Cherry pie is my absolute favourite. So I've got two sheets out, so I thought we'd give it a go. So basically you pick up your paint with your dauber, but you don't just apply straight on. That's where the craft sheet comes in handy. You work it in, and so you rub it on your craft sheet and you work it into your sponge so it's all covered, and then basically you start applying. And then when you need more, go back to your craft sheet. So I'm just going to do very splotchy. I'm going to get my other colour. Now, normally you would, I assume, use a different sponge. I'm not going to bother, because normally I don't use these for applying paint anyway. I use my makeup sponges, but because it is such a big area, I thought it might be a better idea to use something a bit bigger. So I'm going to stick with these two colours on this side for my background, because I want to use the cherry pie, I think, for a little contrast when I use my stencils and things. So I don't like how it's blending over here, so I'm just going to get some more of that. There we go. And just sponge that in a bit more. Mix it up really good. So yeah, like I was saying, we're making address labels today, but you could do this with absolutely anything. But I really wanted address labels, so I bought my stamp, and yeah, I just wanted to pretty them up. Now the reason I love Dylusions paint is this is almost pretty much dry, so we're going to set that aside to finish drying. And over here maybe we'll go with, should we go with them two? You know what, let's go with those two. Whoops, whoa, that was close. Always put the lid on your paints, people. So we have, what colour is this again? I put the wrong colour on the wrong lid. Oh, see, people put the colours, so teal. Teal is this one, and this is turquoise. See what happens when you video live, people? This is what happens. So I'm going to get a daub of paint, and we're just going to go for it here. Not the most technical. I'll just continue working this in. Now, as you can see my brush strokes or my marks left by my dauber. I'm not fussed. I reckon it's going to add to our lovely mixed media feel. Leads back on. Only thing is, because I don't know where my, because I'm that organised, sponges are for this, I may have to use a makeup sponge for this, for the pink, because I really don't want to contaminate my dauber that much. So we'll see how we go. Oh yeah, it's not working too badly. I think we'll just go with little bits of pink, not too much, and I might blend that over a bit better. I tend to talk to myself a lot, which is probably a good thing, doing a real-time video, so you can all, at least I'm talking to you all. So this is probably a good project when you want to get messy but don't really want to get an art journal out, or you just want to do something different. In saying that though, I do have a lot of paint left over, so I am going to grab an art journal because paint never goes to waste here. So just happen to have one out. Just open to a random, ooh, craft. I haven't used the craft ones yet. So just gonna clean off my dauber. Got lots of paint over here on my craft sheet that I really don't want to waste. So just picking that up. Alright, so we're done with our paint, and already I like this one much more, but we'll see what we can do with this. I don't like how we've got these little, but we'll see what we can do with it. I love the contrasting colours, but yeah, I like my colours to blend better, but we'll see where we go. So that's already dry, so that's amazing. That's why I love Dylusions paints. So I've got some purple, some black, and some white here for contrast. I think I'll leave the black for my stamping, so maybe we'll do some stamping first. So now with my stamping I always use, where'd I grab? I didn't get it out. Here it is. I've recently reorganised my desk and I'm still trying to work out the kinks. I always use archival ink. I want to get the jumbo version of this because I use it so often. And I'm just going to grab my favourite stamp set, which I didn't get out yet. Here it is. This is a Viva Las Vegas stamp. Those ones. Mark Maker set. I love these. They're my absolute favourite. So I'll start with some, and they're all unmounted, these ones, which I find is a lot better for grungy looking stamping. But that's what works for me. It might not work for you. You might hate having unmounted stamps. Now the ink on my address stamp is black, so what I want to be careful of is not to have too much black on here that's going to make it hard to notice that. So we really want that to pop. So I'm learning at the same time as you are. I have not done this yet. This is first time I'm doing this. So we're gonna learn together if this is a total fail or not. So we shall see. So I think that might do for the stamping, because we don't want the address to get lost amongst all those little details. So now we're going to work on some stenciling, because I love stenciling. So I've got some of my favourite stencils here. Now I might go with the white, because we really do, where did I put it? I keep losing my, there it is. because we really do want some contrast. Now on this one I might use some purple. We'll see how purple goes. So I'll get my purple out. See how often I don't use my purple? Look at that. I'm not much of a purple person, which is a shame because it's one of my sister's favourite colours. And I mean one of my sisters, not one of my sister's favourite colours. I'm confusing myself. I have two sisters and one of them, purple is her favourite colour. There we go, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I don't tend to use it much. But in saying that, in the scrappy world, purple is not a colour that is used often, is it? Until recently. Thanks to, I believe, Pantone's Colour of the Year last year. So that's my belief. So we're going to clean this off because I want to use some white on this one over here. So good old baby wipe. I use more baby wipes in my art room now than I ever did changing my kids' butts. So yeah. And paper towel. I use more paper towel out here as well. So I'm just going to put the lid on that. I do love that pink though. We'll go with some white. Look at that, my white's getting a little contaminated as well. Black and white are my most used colours out here of my Dilutions paints, I find. I love the little details on this stamp. So what we want to do is we want to just cover as much of this as makes you happy. I was going to say as we want, but that might not be your happy place. To me it is. Lots of colour and texture is definitely my happy place. So I'm going to, oh, I didn't use the cherry pie. I got cherry pie sitting there, I didn't use it. Silly me. No one thought to remind me. I know. Alright, we'll put some white over here on top of these ones as well with the other half of this stencil. So we're building layers and we're going for a real mixed media, and this is going to really help that stamp stand out, that address from those Mark Maker stamps that we've put down as well. And it's just going to help blend everything. See already I'm really loving this one a lot more too. But now that I've rediscovered my cherry pie, I really want to use that. So, wipe that off again. I'm not usually very big on cleaning my stencils, but I'm trying to remember more. So, do we go big dots or little dots? I might do big dots over here first, and then I'll go little dots with the cherry pie. No, we're going to go big dots with cherry pie. Oh, look at that, I'm almost out of cherry pie. But never fear, I have a whole nother jar. I always make sure I have my favourite colours on hand. So, let's go to town. So when I use similar colours for background areas, I love to have a contrast colour. So as you can see on this side I've got the teal and the turquoise, and they blend really beautifully. So that cherry pie is really going to pop off there. Whereas over here I've got the teal, but I've got the peony blush. So they're contrasting colours and they work beautifully on their own. They don't need a big contrast to really stand out. So we've got two different backgrounds going and I'm in love with them both now. So we're really going to see how this turns out. Alright, I'll put a little bit more over here. Whoa! That's what happens when you work with wet paint. Alright, so what do we want to do? Actually, I might leave this one and we might use the little ones for this. Oh no, I just put a dirty stamp on top of my clean photos for next week's Project Life. Naughty me. So, what colour should we use over here now? Should we use some cherry pie? Or, actually, you know what? We're going to stick with the blush. Look at that. White lid on top of my cherry pie. Not very focused today. But what we're going to do is, you know how I said that I didn't like how it was blending here? We're going to bring in more of this pink on top of this teal. That's what we're going to do. So when I do an art journal page, I love to use tone on tone colours, so I use the same colours throughout my page, but if I have big contrast, I will go and then use, like I'm going to do now, use the pink on top of the blue. And you'll see how much that really brings it together. This is one of my favourite stencils. I just love the little details that it has. And see what I mean by just really bringing those colours down into the rest of this page. So that I'm really happy with. Ooh, I love it. I love it, I love it. And when we overlap things, it helps tie it all together. So that's what we're going to do. It's a little too symmetrical and that's going to bug me. There we go. Oh, wet paint. There we go. Maybe just a little bit more there. Alright. I like that a lot. But what I want, so just remember that underneath all of this there are individual stamps, individual stickers. So when you're doing something like this, and already I can see that I've done it, I'm going to have to go back and do a few more. If you're doing big stencils and big areas, you're only going to get a little bit of that on each sticker. So as you can see down here, this one's pretty blank already because I've left lots of space. So I'm going to have to redo a bit more on that one. This one's probably a little better, but still here there's a lot of blank areas. So we might have to go over that again. I might get some stamp details for that, and I might use some paint on my stamps instead, is what we might do for that one. But first we're going to go back to this one, and I think I might go with some of the blues. So like I was saying, I love to use tones, the same tone on tones. Just cleaning off my stencil so I don't get some pink on my page. I might just hit that with the heat gun so I don't smear my cherry pie. Alright, now where was I? So I might go in with the teal because I think that's probably going to stand out more. So I'm just going to give that a shake to get some of that paint in the lid. Just going to get a little bit on my, I don't have a dauber out for this colour, so I'm just going to use this again. I'm just going to add a few little spots of that here and there. Now it's not going to be really noticeable, not like it is over here, but it's just going to add another little detail to our stickers. And that's what we want. Alright, so I think what I might do is I might add some more stamps. So, oh, this is a good one. This is one. So this is from that same Mark Maker set. Now I might add some more blush on here. So I need some more. Here it is. Putting my stamps on everything. So don't be afraid to step outside the box, because I'm not using ink, I'm using paint, and it works just as well because I really don't want that, the black of my date address stamp to get lost in all of this. I really want that to be noticeable. So I might use another colour now over the pink, like that. So all I'm doing is I've got some paint on my dauber and I'm inking up my stamp with my paint. Now if you use a lot of paint, like really thick, it's not going to work very well. You won't get the details in your stamp. But if you use a little bit of paint, it's going to work really, really well. So I'm going to go back to this one. This is one of my favourites from that stamp set. And I'm going to use some more cherry pie, because I love cherry pie, which you can probably tell by the condition of my tub of paint. So I'm just, now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to fill in those areas where I can see have been a little bit neglected by my mixed media attempts. So, because what we want to do is we want to remember that this isn't one whole sheet, there are individual little stickers on there. So when we pull them off separately, they're gonna each have a little bit of the overall pattern, and that's what we want to remember. So we want to make sure that each sticker has some of that pattern on it. And right now I think we've done a really good job. I think maybe just a tiny bit more blue up here. I think we'll go like that. I think all in all, these are looking really good. I'm really happy with these, so we will see how they turn out. Alright, you know what? I think I'm happy with that. So, I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to clean off all my sponges and instruments and things. And we'll come back and we'll see if we can take the outer layer of this off. And we'll see what we ended up with. As you can see, basically, that's going to be my mailing label. So how cool is that? Customized address labels. I'm really excited for this. So I bought a whole bunch of these off of eBay. So I've got all of these sheets to play with as well. And I think they cost me maybe $5 on eBay. And then my self-inking stamp cost me $13 on eBay. And I've just had an afternoon, well not even an afternoon, I've just had half an hour of fun making mini little sticker masterpieces to send out on all my Happy Mail and my pen pal letters and things like that with a personalised little bit of touch of art. So how cool is that? So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I do hope you consider doing something like this for yourself if you send mail or just want some cool customised mailing labels. Or any real label for that matter. You know, you don't have to use them as mailing labels. I just really wanted my own mailing labels. I used to buy them from online somewhere. Where did I buy them from? Anyway, I used to buy them online, and but I changed houses a couple of times over the years, so I stopped using them. But I know that I'm going to be in this house for a while now, so I figured, why not buy a stamp and make my own? So much more enjoyable and really, really cool. Much more individual. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with a new video soon. Bye for now.